Dari, good afternoon. It's towards the end of May 2020, and what you're looking at is the carbon fibre seat on my Premier race bicycle, road race bicycle. Now, I have in fact cycled, just thought about it, on a solid carbon seat for over 20 years. In other words, I've not had a seat with any cushioning whatsoever. And the seat above that you see there is on the best road race bicycle that I've got. I've only got two, and it's an 81 gram seat. But lately, and others would say inevitably, I've been experiencing lower back pain, and so I don't think it's totally cycling related. However, as an investigation, my good friend Pierre came up with this seat. Now, this is the Fizik R5 Antares seat, and if you look at it, it's sort of a plastic construction, and it's very soft. It's quite a heavy seat. It's over 200 grams, and I spoke to my neighbour, who's a sort of semi-pro cyclist, when he came back from one of his rides, and I was absolutely gobsmacked to find he is cycling with the identical seat. So he's also cycling with the Fizik R5 Antares seat. Now, Fizik have got a range of seats, and they put the same seat but in three different versions, and based on the flexibility of your spine. And the Antares is the sort of middle flexibility. If you've got no flexibility, you'll end up with a seat, a different named seat, but still an R1, an R3, an R5, etc., which has got a bigger dip here. And if you have got much more flexibility, you'll end up with a stiffer seat, which is a flatter seat, but still looking pretty much at the same type of material. So this is the replacement seat that I have been riding on my secondary bicycle, which I have to ride on, by the way, because the wheel on this bicycle is a bit warped, and in the COVID times there's absolutely no one who can actually fix it. Certainly not me. I don't want to mess around with a 1000 plus wheel on my first ever wheel straightening. So back to seats. I've been cycling on this Fizik R5 Antares seat for a couple of weeks now, and you know what? It is super comfortable. I mean, people are going to say, yes, you've been cycling on a solid carbon seat for 20 years. Yeah, welcome to the real world. These seats, they are soft and flexible. So what I actually wanted was, for the race bicycle, a better seat with the same amount of flexibility, I think. So that's my goal plan. And enter the Fizik range and the different seats that are available. So what I've chosen is the following seat. And the important thing about this video is that I couldn't find this information anywhere on the web, so stand by. This is the Fizik Antares R1 seat. So in addition to the three different sorts of flexibility, the Fizik have got a range of seats with starting off at 00 for lightest, then R1, then R3, then R5. So the R1 seat that you see here has got carbon rails, whereas the R5 seat, which is the cheap and cheerful seat, which thankfully Pierre lent me, has got just metal rails here. So this seat is about 140, 150 grams in the shorter length, which is 141 millimeters. So there's a shorter and longer seat. There's three different flexibilities, and then there's the R00, R1, R3, R5. So that's it really. I've checked with my fingers that this seat is slightly, and I mean slightly, less flexible. I think it's got a carbon base, so that carbon base is probably not flexible, whereas this plastic underbase here is probably more flexible. So overall, I think this is a more comfy seat. The question is, can I ride on this and it be kind of acceptable? For sure, it's going to be much better than a solid carbon seat. I mean, your seat bones, so your bones from your bottom, every rotation of the pedal, you can feel them against the solid carbon seat. You'll be wearing cycling trousers, but even so, you do feel it quite a lot. And on a longer ride, let's say a 5-hour ride, you really do start to feel it. So that's it really. There's a report to follow, but the plan is to go with the 01 seat. Thanks for watching.